Welcome back to my channel, everyone. This show is Reflex. Come back with another episode of Let's Play Crusader Kings 3. We're playing as Aragorn, and we're trying to rise back the Kingdom of Arnor from its old ancient lands. Let's see. We do have the Anarch Círdan, the shipwright of Linden, who is actually wanting to purchase a truce from us. Pays to me 640 gold. Yes, sir. I will take that gladly. Um, and we're going to continue on with colonizing these little lands right here next to the Shire, so that way we can have a little bit, um, or we can have a little bit more. What do I want to say? Like, we have a little bit less border gore. That's the word I was trying to think there, because the thing about like one of the hardest things to look at whenever you're trying to create Arnor with your guy Aragorn is that it's just a lot of spaces in between land that you're trying to colonize. That's just, it takes a long time to make it to where the borders are actually touching each other. So it's something that we're going to just continue doing as we continue doing this playthrough. We do actually have one too many pieces of land colonized. That was a mistake on my part, but that's okay. We'll continue doing what we're doing. And this one's almost over. Great. We'll go ahead and do that one. And these over here probably are getting close to being done as well. So let's go ahead and let's move our steward over here so he can start working on some of these lands that are close to us. It looks like our wife lost being pregnant, which that happens. We already have several like children. We have two daughters and a son, which we can use for alliances later on. But that's perfectly fine because they can't have kids of their own for quite a few years down the road. So we're going to go ahead and continue with our stewardship tree here. And now we've gotten the first, all of the things fixed for that one over there. We'll go ahead and work on that one. See, it's a lot of clicking back and forth, just trying to make sure that you don't miss anything. Because it's so easy just to, like, miss an upgrade here, miss an upgrade there. It happens pretty quickly before you know it. Alright, there we go. This will be the closest one, I think. Oh, yeah. And we do have a... it does look like we have like not a revolt, but a Liberty faction that just declared war against us. So we're going to go ahead and get our guys ready for that. We're going to go ahead and manage domain, I think. And we will move our troop rallying point to up here. And even though they do have probably more troops than I do, yeah, 6,100 troops. Again, I think I mentioned this in the last episode. Sometimes troop numbers does not matter a whole lot in this particular mod, strictly because you're so much stronger than a lot of people, or you're so much weaker than a lot of people. Like, for example, I want to say, like, the Shire does not have a ton of really strong troops that you can get. So we're gonna, and if you haven't noticed, it's actually Pippin who became the leader of the entire Shire. He's the Thane of the land, and we do have a few other notable people that were in that war as well, where you can actually see that Master Saradoc and his heir is Mary from the actual show. So you do end up seeing a few of the people from the show actually pop up here and there. What I want to do is I actually want to give, I'm going to actually want to see if Bilbo will convert. Yeah, I didn't figure the 1% shot would have gotten it. I probably should have given him the Shire first. It's a pretty rookie mistake on my part. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make him the actual leader just because it's actually pretty cool. And then we're also going to revoke the guy down there who was at war with us. We'll go ahead and we'll release Pippin and let him keep whatever land he had left after we took the Shire, the Kingdom of the Shire from him. And we're going to go ahead before we start up and see what else we can clear out from these different holdings. Some of these are pretty quick that you can actually get. Okay. Now this piece of land I think was one of the guys that we took the land from. We're going to go ahead and feudalize this one, and we're going to give it to, well, actually no, hold up. I want to give it to somebody who's got some really good stats. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and give it to, well, we'll give it to this guy. This guy's fine. and we will go ahead and grant him also this title. We'll hold that title for now until we can actually upgrade it, and then we'll upgrade it and give it to him. All right, so here's something that happens quite often in this particular playthrough. A lot of times when you play this, Mordor wins fairly early on into the actual run, where they will take down Gondor. Because obviously you're not playing to become the king of Gondor, so that in itself makes Gondor a little bit weaker by proxy, and you end up having still have the Empire of Gondor down here being run by the ruling steward of Denethor, but it's still something like he's still there, but it's significantly weaker than what it was, and definitely not ideal because so our goal, and it should be many of the goals I feel like if you want to try to do the hard thing is to take down Mordor. Like Mordor is a tough thing to bring down, even for people who play this quite a bit, because they're so much stronger than pretty much everyone else in the game. Now, maybe people who play this a ton have found ways to do it fairly easily, but I still find it to be very difficult to deal with them in a lot of cases. So if you've actually done it, which I'm sure many of you might who are watching this might have actually, you know, quote unquote beaten the game where you actually just defeated Sauron and took down Mordor. However, like if you did it in some like very interesting way, I'd really like to hear it like in the comment section because there's just there's just so many different things about this mod that I don't currently know yet. Like there's a lot of things I'm sure that will pop up that I'll just be like amazed by like as I learn through the game a little bit because it's a completely different experience than standard CK, which I've played a ton. And to continue, we've got a few things over here. This one's got 18 months. This one's got 6. So we'll sit here and wait for this one to get done real fast. And then we should have enough gold to upgrade it. Beautiful. Okay, so with that being done, we need this development to get to 3. Doggone it! I didn't even realize that. Should have probably looked at that first, but I just assumed since we had moved that there quite a bit, it wouldn't have been a big deal. Ah, the barrel whites. Okay, so we need to go ahead and get 1100 gold, and then we can actually cleanse the area of the barrel whites. Let's see. This one's at 5 months, and then we'll go ahead and upgrade this one next. Oh, and we have someone who's coming to visit us to give us a little bit of gold, which is always welcome. Alrighty, and then we'll upgrade that. And we still have 200 gold left over, so and then we have we're getting a little bit of gold now per our stress. The Quell's eggshell gem, that's pretty cool. And then that just leaves us with getting this to a development of 3. Oh, and the Ents actually won. Pretty cool right here where they're talking about the Ents marching on to Isengard and flooding the land, sticking to some lore friendly stuff with that, and it does look like Saruman has in fact lost and is now being looks like Saruman's not even there anymore. It's the war chief Lurtz of Isengard. It looks like the Riddermark has in fact held off basically the second biggest enemy in the game, which is pretty good. I'm sure there's instances where that's not the case, and Saruman, in fact, actually comes out as the benefactor. Again, I haven't played the lore-friendly walkthrough with this, so I'm not exactly sure if it's something that just always happens, or if it's just something that happens every so often. But I'm sure there'll be some point where I will play this, and I will actually play through it the way that the movies and the books intend it to be. We're just kind of waiting for the development of this to go up a little bit. We're currently at 76 out of 100. We'll actually do that. We'll continue to educate our son. Although I will say I don't know how important the son will actually be because of how long Aragorn is going to live for. He's 98. So, I mean, he's going to be around. Like he's still going to be around for quite some time. So continuing on, we did in fact go ahead and feudalize this piece of land right here, this one right here, and now this one is going to be the next one. So we're going to go ahead and move our steward up here, and we're just trying to get all the ones that are close to us done first, and then we'll work on these guys over here a little bit. This one's in 50 something days, so it is now available to be converted into a feudal holding whenever that time comes. But again, it's gonna. We still have to wait for the development to go up a little bit because it's got to get to 3. So moving on, let's talk about something that's a little bit different than what we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of colonizing, so at some point we do need to actually expand with fighting people. And if you look at some of the areas around us, we got some people to the north, not necessarily super important for us at the moment. We do have some dwarves to the east, or no, this is to the west. We actually have them to the east too, I believe, over here in Erebor, but they're a little bit further off. And we do have some of these orc encampments that are doing the kind of like their own thing right now. The one that's directly close to us is in fact Imladris. It looks like Elrond is still there, but it looks like he's actually attacking. Oh, he's attacking the shapeshifters of this little area over here. That's pretty interesting. I actually don't know much about them as far as their holdings. I know in The Hobbit, like it's a fairly significant part in I think the first movie. But yeah, he's attacking them, which means that let's see what he's trying to do. It's he's attacking King Grimbion the Old and the War of the Reclaimed Elven Homelands, where it looks who is actually leading this. So, oh, this is Galadriel who is trying to go after what piece of land, I guess. Just one piece of land, which is something. But you know what I'm going to do? So this is kind of sneaky. This also could be very very uh I'm not gonna like it could be a little uh rough if it goes south. What I want to do, I want to actually hmm I think maybe I want to go ahead and station these guys first of all. I'm debating on whether or not I actually want to go after Imladris and try to take it over myself to force it into a client state. Well, we actually don't. Um, we don't actually have a claim on it right now. We might fabricate a claim on it real fast. Shouldn't take too long. Let's check to see how this war is going. And they actually did go ahead and finish the war already. Okay, well that's fine. We'll probably keep the claim for now. It's something just to kind of like maybe watch as time goes on. Let's see what happened here. There's some look like some land that was taken. Oh, looks like these guys actually just took this little piece of land, probably from the orcs. It looks like. At least it looked like he took that piece of land. So they're right on Imladris too. Something to keep an eye on. We'll just have to keep an eye on how that's going. Oh, so all right. One of the two things that I wanted towards the end, I wanted to go ahead and get the domain tax at plus 20, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go for avaricious, and then when that happens, I'm going to pivot out of the stewardship tree because I don't think we're going to need it after that point. So moving on over here, this guy, we still need quite a little bit before that one's going to be good enough for us to address. Yes. So I'm actually curious. If I declare war on him, my claims is just on Imladris itself. That was a mistake. I probably should have took the whole thing, but that is okay for now. Let's see. Can we actually get some pretty strong allies from all this? Alrighty, we did that. We'll go ahead and we'll do that as well. And then we'll do that. And then we'll do this one. Okay. here's where we are with that. So something I'm going to do that's going to be a little bit it's going to be risky, but at the same time I think I just can win it straight up because 26,000 to 6,000. Again, I made the comment that it's not always well, let me actually do this. Let's actually go the 14 months here. We're going to be patient because, time is not as big of a thing right now for us because, like, time passing is not a horrible thing. We're going to go ahead and wait. We're going to get a little bit of money up too, which is nice. We're going to go the full 5 months here. All right. It's all of Imladris is mine. Okay, so let's go ahead and hold court real fast. All right. Proceed. Awesome. Whatever. Okay. Perfect. So let's go ahead and let's be bold here. Let's go ahead and make a move here. We're going to go ahead and present our claims to him. We claim all of it, and here we go. So first things first, we are not worried at all about um, our prestige here. We are going to just straight up just call everybody to war here, every single one of them. Uh, and a lot of our guys are super strong too, so we'll go ahead and transfer this guy to that guy. That's perfectly fine. And now we're just going to go ahead um, and raise all of our guys right here, and we'll just wait for our allies to show up. We're not in any hurry to go because they've only got 2 pieces of land, and they with them only having like a few hundred troops, it's not like they're going to. It's not like they're going to march upon us. They are definitely more incentivized, I guess the word is the way to put it, to stay in their holding. Okay, so just with those troops that we had, and that's not even all of them, we were able to beat them. So that's huge. We're going to sit here and we're going to siege up their holdings real quick. One of them is 7 years long. That's a 7-year siege. That is crazy. Okay, hold up. So our stress level is fairly high right now. So we're just going to, you know, kind of be careful with that. So we're going to go ahead and go to law and upgrade that. Oh, hello there. So they actually had enough to beat us there. So let's see what happened. Where's our troops at? They have 18,000. We have 18,000 to their 3,000. So that was a little sketchy. What happened? I guess because the siege is so long. Hmm. Let's see something. What do we have? We need to, in order to make this a little bit faster. We're going to go ahead and pick Avaricious. And then our next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to Martial, and we're going to upgrade that a little bit. And we have Absolute Control and Gallant that are really close right there for us to actually take. Let's see, can we actually feudalize one of these over here so we can get rid of it? Let us, I'm just trying to think right now what I want to do because I've got a few different options that I can um, stick to right now. We're going to go ahead and grant this to this person right there. That's perfectly fine. All right, so that gets us back to the right domain size. We'll go ahead and pardon this guy here. We'll go ahead and feudalize that, and we'll feudalize that as well. Okay, cool. We're going to sit here for just a few moments, and we're going to see, is there anybody that we can actually ransom off? No. Okay. We do actually have a few more children to actually marry our children off to, which is pretty good. Let's pause that for a second. Or we just had one more. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and call them as well. Because the thing now is we don't have any troops, nor do we have any I guess the question is, it says we have some troops that are available. Oh, there we go. They all just despawned. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now one thing I do want to do, I want to go ahead and get us some trebuchets, because the trebuchets are going to be nice, just because we're going to need to be able to um, siege some of these holdings that they have. That's another thing as well. Um, let's go ahead and merge these guys together. We'll up that real quick. We'll up that as well. Let me make sure that we have raised everything possible here. The fall of Gondor. Shocking news. Hordes of orcs have crossed the Anduin, swarming the Pelennor, and ultimately sacking the White City of Minas Tirith. Okay, that's not good. Did they actually take the? They did take down the entire thing here. That sucks, but that's okay. We're just going to keep on doing our thing right now, and we're going to go ahead and start going back after these people. We have 33,000 troops. It says that at our disposal now. Granted, how many of them will actually like? Okay, that's great. I love how the AI just takes way too long to actually show up. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. Knew that this was a risk. So we need to go ahead and raise all of our troops back up, and we need to be patient. It's at 43%, so we do need to like just be patient and wait for everything to come back. And we have 328 gold, so we might be able to actually call some okay. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and raise some more of our troops here. Okay. And let's see, where do we have for mercenaries, I guess, is the next question. Some of them are expensive. Wow. Okay. That's Dunland, Huskarls. There's nothing really crazy there. I don't know. Hmm. We might be able to. We have the piety for it. So let's go ahead and let's get those guys together. Oh wow, we have a ton of troops now. So let's go ahead and let's get it. Okay, so absolute control. Let's do that, and we're gonna go down that tree right there. Okay, so let's march. We're at 69%. So wow, and our allies were actually going to march the long way around and left our guys there out to dry. That kind of sucks, but that's okay. We learned quite a lot in that little siege right there. It sucks because we took a big hit and we also lost a lot of gold, which does suck as well. But I think we learned a lot, and that's all you can really ask for in a moment like that, because you just that we had a shot, but it just shows the difficulty and what we need to do to be able to get to that point. And for anybody who hasn't played this, like initially that might have seemed like an okay idea. Like that actually might have seemed like, oh, this is gonna work. And even though we had the initial success at the very beginning, it doesn't turn out that way, and that's okay, because there's a lot of game left to play. And the elves are not typically they're not typically something to worry about, in the sense of they're going to be a huge obstacle later on. They're not a bad guy. So, and as you can tell, even after the war, the guy had still had like a 96% approval of me, which is perfectly fine as well. So we're going to break it up, both of you. That's great. Show this guy in. Awesome. The worst part about that is definitely the gold. The war itself, it doesn't matter a whole lot. It's the gold that makes the biggest difference, strictly because you can't really do a whole lot until you get gold. We can't make more land. We can't do any of that stuff. So I got to spend the resources. That's fine. You get the lordship. I'm fine. You can get a barony. I'm fine with that too. Okay, we did get a little bit of gold from that, which is good. Um, moving on. Let's see. We also need to focus on trying to get our stress down a little bit. Let's divine the stars. I actually want to see if that actually does anything. Oh, okay, hold on. A shadow has fallen over Gondor ever since the taking of the White City of Mysterious. Our land has suffered, and our people have been forced under the cruel yoke of Mordor. But now, hope rises more. Kano Elrond of Imladris has begun a daring war to liberate Gondor from the shadow of the Dark Lord. Many hosts now march to meet the armies of Mordor, but the power of Sauron cannot be overcome so easily. There are still some in Gondor who take up arms alongside the liberators, including myself. Has the time come to finally avenge the fall of Minas Tirith? Let's go ahead and let's say yes, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to call that there. Crazy how the guy we go to war with is the guy who raises up, and he calls us to finally go after Mordor. And I'm curious, so like if we're victorious, what happens if we enforce demands? All the titles for the Kingdom of Gondor will be lost at the realm, and that realm is reborn. So very interesting. Let's go ahead and yeah, let's call it there. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like in the section below. If you want to see more in the future, please subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot and it means a great deal. And again, guys, I will see all of you next time.